greatness in every life, every soul.
Hi, my name is Godwin, and I'm the Gaffer Man. And today I'm not alone, and today is the AMVCA special. We're going to be talking to people, giants, like I call them. I think the list number of nomination you will find here is 3, and there's someone here who's going fast with the nomination, and I know he will also be waiting their words too. Thank you for joining us. Take your time to be a part of this show. We're really excited that you're here with us. And we know that you will get 1 or 2 hints or tips or something to better your crafts. You have better knowledge of these people here with me. On my very right, he's taking a break. He'll join us. And then next to him is Casey. Casey's journey in entertainment is pushed by creativity, ambition, and steady growth within the entertainment industry through hard work and dedication. From being a focus puller, he has built a reputation for himself as a filmmaker, a creative professional, committed to telling impactful stories. He's a one-time AMVCA award winner for Best Cinematography for what filmmaking?
The Bird.
I always be great.
Oh, but the Bird.
I think you had so many nominations. Who do I? Please make welcome Casey Oberge, my friend, my colleague, and a bit of a gangster now. And right beside Casey is the only lady today, beautifully seated, a journalist as an art director, has built on years of discipline, creativity, technical excellence, bringing stories to life visually. Her growing reputation led to her work for major projects like King of Boys, In Fair, Blood Sisters, Far From Home, and big stuff like yeah. Where she has proved her versatility across different genres and style. Outstanding work on Over the Bridge, and her on AMVCA Best Actor in 2024. And now you have another nomination in 2026.
I had one last year as well.
We had one last year. Okay.
And I have another one now.
You have another one now. Beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Felicia in the building.
He took a break, he's back. Yeah, so I'll come back to you.
Okay, sir.
Yes, so right beside Abisula is senior sir. It's his first time as an actor, but he's grounded. His performance in The Yard, earning the nomination with his screen presence and grounded performance style. Simi is a very humble guy. He can be in a room and he won't say anything for so long. And when he says stuff, he's very rich. Please make welcome Simi Hassan. And then this guy, his profile is low. Tulobaro has a music school. He went to school in Niger State. He's into oil and gas and brought some of the oil, to pour some on down of Lagos, Jagu, a tribe called Judah that ended him and a world year. How many times everyone?
Because I won once, I've got, I think I have 11
Nomination.
almost every year.
Sorry. Boss.
Wait.
I don't know what to say.
I mean, you said the least person has like 3, but this guy has 11.
Yeah, Liz.
So
Liz.
this is
I'm the least.
4 years.
Do you do this?
stand up.
I'm supposed to be doing this special. And then on this side is my fixer, my friend James Amuta. He's a producer, director, aerial cinematographer, a writer. He has plenty books. Last what? Last Bride of the River. Last Bride of the River. He's a very fantastic storyteller. He's an award winner in 2023 for writing Collision Course. Collision Course. Actually, fun fact, a major part of that story is James's story. Please make welcome James and Rita.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Right now, I'm with the soul of my guy. My guy. I'm even now doing you. So for a day with Dev,
Yeah,
the experimental short film, Hakonde, Casanova, 3 code dishes. So I have been nominated 2 times. I didn't before they scratched my category. You guys,
And it was because of you described that category.
yes, it was my turn to win.
Yeah, it was because of you described the category.
So as of let's with you, it's something it's very usually code dishes.
Okay.
I solve.
yeah,
Even late
Yeah.
is the key to story.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
My name is Esof Oluseyi. I'm a father. I got served breakfast yesterday. Officially, I'm single. I'm a storyteller.
I'm single too, I guess at this time.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
Yeah, I tell story. I'm a producer, I'm a director, I'm an editor, and I'm also a writer. I have been in this space for over a decade now, and 3 Code Dishes was like the most recent outing. Yeah, and these are my family. Like these are faces I've worked with or dreamt to work with in the past, and I want us to start the conversation. Yeah. Just like you, my last outing at AMVCA, I got 5 nominations. I didn't win any. Yeah. It does like this. Yeah, but yeah, my first short film, I won my first AMVCA with my first short film. That's a day with
How
it.
was it making your first short film?
We've been running as thank you, Lola. We've been running as a studio. There we were doing documentaries, we were doing corporate videos. We started what you call today content creation. I think most of your top, like just think about any big comedy skits in the early days in our space. I think most of them are. And like the one with basket mouth, the police. Then the one with Sheila, Jesus, fake Jesus. Yeah, so I was a mix of narrative and non-narrative content.
Okay.
And there's a way this thing can make you feel like you can make a film. You know, because you're coming from a space where sound is not something that you need to primarily fix on the set, because half of the time you have to do voiceover and sound bits, and we feel like, okay, indirectly we also still tell stories, because most of the things that we create always still follow the usual story pattern of the beginning, the hook, the middle, and the end. I'm like, okay, and then we were quite popular within the space. Like almost every concert that you can get out of a hotel, my company does 100%. Like the only reason why a show is happening at a hotel and Niso Film is not the one covering is because you don't have the budget. So we were good financially.
Even at the core,
Yeah, so we were now feeling like, okay,
you can make film.
let's go into Nollywood. And we were also coming from, it was the days where you have to learn, you pay a lot of attention and a lot of time into resource finding to want to learn. It was the days where you can learn everything on YouTube, tons of tutorials on YouTube. You can download 1 million tutorials that you probably only watch 5 times. And then we felt, okay, let's try something new. And then we were watching Nollywood and we're like, okay, you know it from outside. You always look like a messiah. like you have
like
that thing
everything's
that
supposed to go
everybody's
right.
not doing right until you attempt. And the 3 Code Dishes, no, A Day with Death was that project for us to say, let's try, at least, if we're not doing a feature film for the first one, let's do a short film. And then for us, because I wasn't like a new filmmaker, there is high expectation, so it has to be interesting, and we have to just do it good, right? And I learned a lot with that short film. I learned that, it wasn't as easy as it seems from behind the scene to tell story with not non-fiction now with actors, like pretty much everything. And we saw the story online. I think I was dabbling, no film school. There was a site where you can get free unscripted scripts. Yeah, so and I reached out to the writer. She's from US, and I said, I love the story. I would love to adapt it to an African setting, and she grants permission, and we shot it. And Judith was so crazy about it. Said like we should submit it for AMVC. I said I didn't like it. I felt like it wasn't good enough. I was seeing so many things that could be better. But Judy just said, I'm coming to your studio, just give me a copy. So it was Judith that submitted the short film for AMVC. And then for A Day with Death, and then when we got nomination, everybody went crazy. I was like, okay, maybe we weren't as bad as I assumed. But yeah.
Casey, the big man. We were in film school together, and I know that, in film school, coming to Lagos, we're thinking we need those big people to help us. Also, coming from Jos, we had like maybe like 4 names. Like if I don't meet this one,
You mean this one?
Sorry.
yeah. Once I meet them,
Yeah, in the same space.
so yes. So how did it start with you that now you are just going in and out of AMVC with 4 nominations now, with an award and expecting another award? I'm sorry.
You're asking me about my journey.
Yes, that's true.
Well, I think I've said this so many times. I never wanted this, and I never wanted to be a storyteller. It was just for one reason, and was I would say I was incapable first season. Yeah, that's what started up. Well, at the beginning, I just wanted to be front page there. Where I had an experience that changed, but where on the first ever NOLLYWOOD set that I went to, proper Nollywood set, because I've been to sets and I was doing stuff, but the first time I was working camera department, I got fired. I got fired, but I was actually horrible. I was horrible. I mean, you know me and you were in the same class.
Yeah.
And
Like you was horrible.
because then we all had
Yeah, sure.
your major was directing, right? My major then was writing and directing. And the first year, I thought, I can just do this. But then, we also put out on my dom was a senator. So
She worked with broadcaster.
I was inspired by what my mom was doing, documenting jobs, working for the governor at the time, being the governor's personal videographer. Jonathan. I was like, you know what? This is fine, inspired. I've gone to see my mom at work a few times. I got to government house, like, I've already gone at times.
Did that inspire you?
A lot. I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to try cinematography. So when it was time for IT, I told my mom, I was like, man, I won't work in your office. My mom was like, yeah, sure. So said, you know what? Don't work in my office. I'll find you somewhere else where you can work. And I understand why she made that choice. She didn't want it to look like she was being biased towards her case. So that's how I landed in NTA. Headquarters Abuja. And
That's what I'm getting ahead.
yes, there was this guy, Mecca, who used to, he worked there, but he used to have side gigs on weekends. And my mom literally took me and said, hey, Emeka, this is my kid. He'll work with you. He'll be under you while he's doing your internship, right? So one day I was like, hey, Emeka, like, you're from film school. I was like, yeah. It's like, dude, I've been here forever. You didn't know. It's like, yeah, you're from film school. I think I have something for you to do. So he told me there's this girl he has, but he can't go because of his work. Or you an intern, so you can call in and say, oh, you won't be able to make it today. And they'll let you go. It's just a 3-day shoot. Go cook and come back. I was like, yeah, sure. My job was going to be camera assistance and a clapper for 3 days. I think the pay was 10K or 5K, something like that.
Well, that was like 100K now,
It
yeah.
was good. Yeah, it was good. So I went to set and I met Papel. I went to his office and Papel introduced me. Then he bought this new camera. It was a 7D. He was just walking me through the camera. It was a DSLR camera. And coming from film school, so he assumed that you guys are film students. Once that, like we knew the theory, and theory was something I can just, I was just giving it to him back to back. I was like, hey, he was like, oh, you understand this camera? I'm like, of course, this is secondary. I was like, oh, this card, something Mbps, no, boom, boom, boom. I can record in this camera, da 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 da. And the girl was those two friends. He's like, oh yes, this is the guy I've been looking for. In fact, this is not just a one-time thing. I want to let you know you have a job full-time. Every time we're shooting, the guy. Already, I've done the math in my head, how much I've been making, going from Jos to Abuja to come and shoot. I was set. I had 1-year plan. I was going to buy now. Ready. And then, on the first day we finished shooting, I'd, come back to the base. My job was to, after dumping the cards with DIT, I wiped the cards overnight, charged the batteries, and then next day on set, we're back at it. So I come back that night, charge the batteries, wipe the cards, put the cards back into the camera. The next morning, we get on set, start blocking, and everything was going great. DP was Tom Robson. Everything was going fantastic. It was fantastically well. Then director had just finished blocking the scene. I was like, okay, cool. All right. Set, action. Roll camera. Tom hits the record button and the camera wasn't recording. He hit and hit and he wasn't recording. It's like, oh man, camera's not recording. I was like, what? What do you mean? He tries and tried and tried and it didn't work. He looks at me and he's like, okay, so what you do? I was like, me? Nothing. I just charged the batteries, wiped the cars, and we're good to go. We tried and tried doing more. For like 30 minutes, I just yanked the camera off the tripod, sat down on the couch. It was a card out. Turns out that I slotted the card the wrong way. When you slot the card in, the pins need to align. So I slotted in the wrong part. And where's the can? They fixed all the pins there inside. When he saw it, I know Papel is handy. He can build stuff. He can build stuff from scratch. And mind you, this is a brand new camera. He just bought the camera. So Papel lost his mind. He went shit on me. Whoa. Yes.
Like, it's still alive, could tell them.
Fired me on the spot. Told me to get the hell out of his set. He doesn't want to see me again. He sat down fixing the camera by himself. Took about a couple of hours or so, but he fixed it. But I stood there and I watched him fix it. And when he looked up and I was still standing there, he wanted to murder me. Yes. And then he was yelling at the top of his voice. We're inside this estate in Abuja. We're really not supposed to make noise. It's a location where we're filming. So the producer was telling him to keep it well down. He's like, don't tell me that. So the actors, who I will forever be grateful to, being back in Talank India. No. He had told me to. He said something to me. He said, if I come back here, I'm going upstairs. If I come down here and you're still here, I will arrest you. I packed my bags. I was ready to leave. But I thought about the humiliation, I come from film school, bro. Like, that's the right, and the pride that I've been carrying. I can't think of going on to tell my mom I spoiled the camera and it fired me. My mom was teaching me this thing with PD 500 and I was just working. I know how to load the tape. I know how to do all of that with the PDs and stuff. And I was very good with this thing, but just ruining a DSLR camera on your first strike is just such a shame, man.
The one thing DSLR camera. It's so simple. Yeah, that's an issue.
So I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm going back to school to tell the story and survive it. I was covered in shit. And then I got to the door. I thought about saying, like, this is the point for you to do the most audacious stuff. And I turned around. I said, what are you still doing? Yes, I'm not leaving. Yeah.
You stayed.
Yeah. He said, I'm not leaving. Charge towards me. Get back when I held him back. It's like, don't touch him. The kid said he's not leaving. I said, I'm not leaving. I came here to learn. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am so sorry I spoiled your camera. I'm glad it's fixed. I will be here. I promise not to spoil any other thing. And he looks at me and I can see tears in his eyes. He walks away. KPI comes and says, you have balls of steel. And then he walks away. I stayed and I finished the project, but it was a half-hour just project. Yes, I did. It was 3 days. That was the second day. We were finishing the next day. But the next 2 days was hell for me. Because I can be downstairs and someone will drop something upstairs. They will call my name. Yes. And, but eventually, when I finished, I had, Papel called me to his office when he was making my payment. He said, "When you do Mama, you remind me of somebody. You remind me of Two-Face. You remind me of where he started. And before I give you this money, I want to tell you that I'm proud of you. And I cannot wait to see what you do with your life."
So I'm just staying there, and then they exit the space with shit.
Yeah.
I'm here to learn, and I'm going to stay to the end of the show.
Yes.
And that's the beginning of a good story today.
I left there. I was coming back to school because I had 1 year left in school. I was going back to school to finish. I was inside the car heading back to Jos. Mind you, I was already late because school had resumed. And
Just put on the camera.
no. This is something. The first thing I was going to talk about is here. He's the director of this show right now. So I decided in the car that I'm going to change my major from directing and writing to cinematography and writing. So cinematography and directing, rather. And I was on my way back to Jos when I made that choice. And I remember going straight to school. I didn't go to the hostel. I had my backpack and all that stuff. I got to school. That's when I came in, and Madam Nina was just leaving. We had just finished makeup class.
Yes.
And she was saying they had given us a practical test that we were going to shoot. So they had split the class into two. I wasn't there. They did not include me in the group. I arrived late. So when I came, all the position had taken cinematographer, camera operator, cameras, everything. So I came in, put me in group B. We were young, and all that. Were you my what was in young? Yeah, I was the actor. And the director of this show was the DP in my class. For that group, he had been selected as a DP. And I walk in, I was like, yeah. And the DP for the thing looked at me like I was crazy.
Oh, that's why you said if I'm not shooting this,
Yes.
nobody else is shooting.
Yes. I mean, he was in my class, so he knows the stay. And I said, I'm the DP for the shoots. They thought I was crazy because what they've known me for before I left was a businessman. I was a businessman. I come to school, I sell clothes. I used to go to terminals. I had a store.
Hold on with the business. Because me and Igbo and actually though, I actually love the fact that that business parties are associated with the Igbo clan. We explore that. I want to hear about Bisola's journey for a bit.
Let me just finish this.
Okay,
So I come into the class that day. I said, That was the DP. Nobody took me serious of that blast. God would have it. They didn't have a camera. Yes, my group didn't have a camera. And the camera they needed was from my best friend and roommate, Tony. So they wanted to take his camera. And I was like, see, we brought you back to book. And they were like, oh yeah, you have to give us this camera. I said, on one condition. But shoot these and make me the cinematographer. And they went source for other cameras, they didn't find, they came back. Oh yeah, you're the DP. Yano was the director of the show, was the cinematographer, and he was so angry to vacate that position. And it was the most embarrassing shoot of my life because I messed up the entire shoot. Sorry, I messed up the entire shoot. It was a whole lot of mess up beginning. I messed up the entire shoot. Broad daylight, I shot giant grains. It was a T3i, Canon T3i. I shot terrible giant grains. I was reflecting on the actor's glasses. I was everywhere. I was so enthusiastic. I was climbing trees. I was shooting from inside the car, under the car. I did all of that. And the film wasn't embarrassing. But it got better with each part. And finally we're here.
That's actually a very good story. The fact that it started with being bad and was stubborn enough to know that, okay, I know I'm good. I will get there. I'll keep struggling to get there. So my problem with people nowadays is that you don't even realize they're bad. We don't even want to grow. You just come in, they're doing bad.
And how do you get it? Not bad.
No, not bad. So I think my story is a bit different. I come from a family that is pretty much, well, used to dominate the accounting space. My dad started Equatorial Trust Bank, ETB, and Defcon Bank, and all of that. So everybody in my family was pretty much finance and business. So there was a clear path for all the kids. My brother is a lawyer. The other person was supposed to be a doctor, but he didn't. My sister is a chemical engineer. And for me, because from when I was young, I used to help with monies, accounting. So I used to keep monies in the house. So my dad just kind of said, you're going to do accounting. So that was like the pathway. So yes, I did accounting. I was good at it. I was excelling. But I was frustrated, seeing like the fictitious zeros. Government accounting used to stress me a lot. Because it was too many numbers, too many parastatals and all of that. So I was doing the accounting, and then I was out one day and somebody approached me and was like, oh, like, you really look beautiful. Do you want to model? And I was like, oh, sure. Then I got introduced to Kelechi Amadiobi. Then I started getting like modeling gigs. I did stuff for Etel, Barcelona, FCMB. I was modeling, pretty much modeling. And then the first time I wanted to do a TV commercial was for like Starcom's ad. Starcom's a telecom brand at the time. So I got there really early, and then I saw everybody behind the scenes, the camera, the gaffers, and I was wondering, and everybody was moving in some sort of sync that didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense, but it was very fascinating. And my brain works in, a type of way. And I'm like, okay, I was looking, and then I was seeing, the C-stands go up, the camera, the testing, mic, the art department. And I'm like, whoa, this is a lot of work that goes into the 1 minute commercial that you see and everything. So, I started talking to the guys behind the scenes. So what does this, what do you do? What is that? One guy was like, don't worry, you can't understand. You're a hush puppy. You just came to model, like, just do what you want to do. So I was like, okay. I did the ad, went back home. I was extremely curious. And then I started, researching online what it takes to film. I started reading. Meanwhile, whilst growing up, I used to coordinate Christmas parties in my house. We would have the story of Jesus, for Christmas. And I would organize, do the setup. So my family, I'm Yoruba, so my aunties used to call me Opalemo, meaning the coordinator, right? I'm I'm very finicky. Then my mom is extremely clean. So I pass for somebody that has OCD. Like my things have to be a certain way. So I'm extremely organized, right? So, and then I spoke to my sister and I'm like, I like this thing. And she's like, your father is going to kill you. My dad was very strict, very like uptight, everything is set out for you. So I'm like, I like this thing and I want to do it. And she's like, you have to finish your accounting, even if you want to branch elsewhere. Because I'd gotten an admission for something else, industrial relations and personal management. And my dad was like, no, you are doing accounting. So I was just like, I told my sister, myself, like, just chill, finish. So for the last 1 year in uni, I was just like, let me finish. Let me just finish. And, I just finished. And as soon as I finished, my dad was like, okay, now you have to write your ICANN. I was like, and I was like, yeah. And I said I didn't want to do ICANN. And I was like, you're joking. So I did ICANN. So I'm chartered. I'm a chartered accountant. So I finished the account, and I remember that I got my results, and I said, "Daddy, this is for you." And he was like,
that kind of person.
"Yeah." And he looked at me. He said, "What do you mean? I'm going to call Mr. Kiniko. You're going to start working." I said, "No, I don't want to do that." He said, "What do I want to do?" I said, "Oh, I found something that interests me. I want to learn filming." And he just laughed and he said, "You want to join the Jokers, not under my roof." I was just like, I said,
Are you that funny?
so I remember clearly he said, "You want to join the Jokers?" And I was like, yeah. And it was like, not under my roof. I'm the last born. I mean, yeah. So I have older siblings. And I was just like attached to my brothers. And I was like, I want to do this. He said, "I'm not under my roof. I'm going to leave." And my brother said, "To where?" Like, I said, "Oh, I'm going to start working." They were laughing because, I growing up, I got everything like handed over to me, So seeing crew members work and work till late, and then they have to show up like the next day because the ad was like a couple of days, right? And at 5, everybody's back and set. And I was like, well, how are these people doing it? I'm waking up at 8 in my house. There's a chef in my house that will come and say, "What do you want to eat, Auntie? What do you want to eat? There's someone clean." I'm just like, what is going on? So that fascinated me. And then I spoke to my siblings and I'm like, I really want to do this. And they were like, okay. They'll talk to my dad. They spoke to my dad. He didn't agree. So my brothers were like, okay, you know what? Go and research on what you want to do and let us know. So I went to one other audition. And as soon as I entered, the producer, the owner of the company said, so yeah, I obviously I got picked for the role. But I got picked and I was not acting like the model because back then models used to be extremely bougie, right? I wasn't acting like the model, but I was like, hanging with the camera guys, and I'm like, "Oh, do you need anything? Do you need to do anything?" And he was like, it was a production company, it's Act Resources Entertainment, and it was like, "Do you want to work in film?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to." And it was like, "Okay, I see the car that brought you. The salary is very little." I'm like, "I don't care. I want to work." And it was like, "Oh, the salary," this was 2007 or 2008. And it was like, "Oh, it's really small. Like, it was really, really small that it probably would not fill your car for the week." I said, I want to learn. And it was like, the salary is 40,000. And it was 40,000 was not even up to my monthly allowance in the house. But then I said, okay. So he was like, okay. So initially I was creeping, going out in the morning. I was telling my dad, "Oh, I'm modeling," because I was done with school and everything. And he was like, "You can't be. You've been modeling for the last 1 month. What's going on?" But I was going to the office, we're shooting commercials I was excited. It felt like, I'm living my life,
On a 40,000.
Yes, because it wasn't, for me, it wasn't a salary. It was, what I was learning. And, I'm grateful for that because in that place, I learned how to do audio recording. I learned a couple stuff. And then I was just like, you know what? Yes, I'm learning here, but I want to do something more. So I did a research on like the best film schools in London because we're always like in London and Nigeria. I was just like, okay, London is like home. And then I, messaged them at the Met Film School that, they should reach out to me when it's their next intake. And I told my siblings, and then, we got the school fees prospectus at the time. I think it was £12,000. And then I showed my brothers and they were like, your father's going to kill you because why? So I spoke to my then boss and he was like, oh, that, is very proud of me. I'm very finicky, attention to detail. He feels like I'll be a good fit. And he was like, okay, he co-sponsor. And like, my brothers would do the rest. So obviously we didn't let my dad know. I got admission. I paid the fees. And I just wanted to go and do one drama for my dad that this is the path I want to see. And he was like, if you know that this is what you want to do, get out of my house. I was like, okay. Whoa. Obviously, because I had where I was going, because I couldn't tell him. And it's like, oh, if you leave this house, don't come back. I said, okay. So off I went to London to study film at the Met Film School, majored in art direction and directing, right? Art direction because I like to put things together. I like to create spaces and all that. But then I knew that in film school, I was drawn more to the art directing. Obviously, you do all of the departments. Editing was, I used to cry in my edit class, ask myself, who sent me? But yeah, I just knew that other things came to me naturally, coming up with ideas, art directing and all of that. So I did that. My dad was obviously dealing with my siblings at home and saying, where is she? And eventually they told him that, oh, I went to do this. I didn't want to bother about that. I just wanted to finish. So when I came back, when I finished, obviously I had gotten angry, I had calmed down. And I said to him that I was sorry, that I just wanted to do this. So when I used to do stuff at the production house, we used to do stuff for like corporates, FMCGs, all of that. So it was more advertising than film. Okay. So we would do stuff for like ad agencies and all of that. But then again, my brain was like, ads are very stereotyped. Like it has to like be clean. It has to be exquisite and all of that. So I was just curious at these films. Then I started to watch Nigerian films and I was just seeing problems like on the art directing side, I was just like, no, but that's not supposed to be there. That's not right. So my sister was like, but forget this directing thing for now. Start doing this art direction for film. So I was just like, I don't know if they pay, but like as a director, you're like the boss and everything. Myself was like, focus on the art directing. It already comes to you naturally. So I went back to my office at the time, spoke to them, and they were like, okay, fine. That, you can work here and then obviously still do stuff. So my first gig was MTN Sugar. MTN's doing a live campaign, Sugar. The very first one that came to Nigeria. So how did I get that? They wanted to get equipment. Then the producer saw a room. That was a props studio. And because of my OCD issues, I'd arranged everything, labeled, there's checklist, there's a pen, the receipts, there was stamps. I just used to be in that room or that studio space. I just loved it. And then the person was like, what is there? And they said, oh, it's our art direction, my props storage. And the person was like, how many prop storage do you have? And they were like, 4. And he said, can I see all 4? And then he went around and saw all 4. And he said, where's the person who organized this? And they're like, oh, she's upstairs. She's in the studio, sound studio. Because then I started learning audio recording. Yeah. And then he said, I got called. And he was like, do you want to work on that TV series? So, of course, I looked at my then boss. And it was like, because it was like good money, like it was great money actually. And I was like, yeah. He said you're so organized, and we were looking for a set designer that can work with a production designer because we didn't find an art director, but we're looking for like a great set designers, and a few people that have come to do tests with us have basically done rubbish. And he was like, what's your background? So I said, oh, I'm an accountant, but I studied film. So he said, okay, so you know camera lenses, you know the rules to camera, you know that there's no crossing room. I said, yes. So he just started asking me stuff, and it was just like, Farouk, I'm going to take this girl. Like, so that was it. I did MTN Sugar. It was great, 8 weeks, intense, but I started everything that was always a curiosity in my head. I started like doing it, like reliving it. So if I read about a character, I would inhibit the character, right? And I would design the space like the character. Say, for example, not the obvious things. If you say someone's a military man, the first thing in Nigerian art director or a basic person, so just put dog tag. No. Aside being a military man, who is that person?
It's human.
Is human. He's a dad, or is a husband, or is somebody that likes a certain kind of sport or something. Sometimes I get very cringy when I see a film and I see the bedside lamps. Obviously, they're there. We need that for light. And the side tables are empty. Is your side table empty in your house? There are keys. There's a medication. Maybe like, if you have high blood pressure, like some of us, your medication is right there, smack there, so that when you wake up, you see it, right? So there are other, I said like, so like those are the extra things that, I started doing. So after MZN Sugar, then I did 50. Yes, I did 50. And from then on, it's been, I did 50. I did some other small films. I was just testing out my, curiosity. Some were so terrible. They were asking me in my house that, who sent you? How much are they paying you? My dad would be like, so you have to see this thing that you went to do, you're suffering. Because I'll be like, oh, we're not eating. The food is running. My tummy is like, for how much? My dad would be like, how much are you getting paid? I'll pay you times 10. Come back home. I'll say no. And then I think the biggest ones for me would be Blood Sister, King of Boys, Blood Sisters, AMVCA. I love AMVCA because I feel like that was my biggest capacity to dream and actualize my dream, because there were no barriers, there was no limits. There's just like anything you want as an art director that can impact the story. Far From Home, yes, beautiful. I'm talking about like then The Wait. I did The Wait. It was lovely because it was a faith-based film. And I just feel like, stars aligned for me to do that particular show, to learn something in life. So after...
Before you continue,
yeah,
I'm going to ask you questions on specific projects.
Okay.
So keep those ones.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on to our first time nominee.
Let's start off today.
No, see who's supposed to
Can you get that?
Yeah.
11 times. Man.
Oh no. Yeah, I've been involved 4 years. No, I've done 4 years.
4 weekends.
What is 4 weekends?
Unexpected.
Okay.
Actually, that's the first one that had that since. It's not the first time. I think it's been 2 years or 3 years. So it's like a hotel dog.
No,
That's so
Gone all the times you've been nominated. You got yes, huge match. That's the big.
wait. He'll go this year.
You've not asked the question. How did you use that? So I've been on set with you, and he's very calm. He does not go beyond his boundaries. All those actors that will say, I need coffee now. He's not going to do that because he's old already. Yes.
So he's not like that. And then he's not Brogonati. Then he's not like those actors that say, oh yeah, have the line. And then you say, action. No, what? So it's very good.
And then the role he played on Adjectin, where you're alone here now.
Yeah, I'm right to you. I'm the last kid in my family, and growing up in Idrishaka, it's so most times I'm the only one at home. Everybody has gone to work, or my siblings have gone to school. I go to what we call Jeduso. So when I come back, I'm the only one in the house. So and that, when you wanted to start the introduction, you say, I come into a room, I don't talk. Yeah, that's because when I was young, I'm basically left alone. And, my parents were a little bit strict. They don't let us go outside. So
You had to stay inside.
yeah, stay inside, watch TV. So I took a lot of comfort in TV. I watched a lot of soap
How
operas.
was the TV programming like in 1960?
I still remember the red, the black, the yellow.
Coloba.
These days, the times.
Yeah, when
By 4 o'clock, right?
when they're doing
NC Channel 5 by 4, they show the
call
camera,
another
and then they do their
countdown.
and then the program starts. So
or when they're doing intimate scenes when they just put that
yeah, when
thing
it
so they
does-
don't
I'm not that old, but yeah, boy. So a lot of that, and a lot of people who knew me, I didn't have seen too many of them, but those that know me then and see me now, they can't believe it because I don't talk so much. I don't, again, because of how I grew up, and so I think maybe 2004, or I can't really remember. Yeah, I had done the jam like twice. Then the last jam, I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, this.
Was it called Jam?
always there.
So I just said to myself, what the hell? I've been watching TV. I'm watching other people on TV. Want other people to watch me as well. And I just picked, theater arts, UI, dramatic arts, and I go into UI. And it just started. I didn't. Also, back then in church, drama drawing, do all those choreography and all of these things. And so when I got into UI, it was tough, but I realized that things came to me easily. When I pick up a script, I look at it and I start getting into it easier. I found it easier to get into the lines, into the scripts than my mates. So I had a lot of directors wanted to work with those and there. So that's how it started for me. And then, of course, when you are in school, you have this fancy idea that life after school is going to be so fun. So but when I left school this year,
Remember our 5-year goal?
the scale, came down from my eye because I remember, so Gabriel Afolayan was my senior by a year. So he was, telling us back then that, UI is just the start. Don't limit yourself here. Try and go to Lagos, or I'll be doing auditions and all of that. I remember the first time me and a friend of mine came all the way to Lagos for audition, and then we had to go back. So it was tough starting out. And then I started as a stage actor, having to make that transition into film, into TV was tough because you walk into an audition, they're already judging you because you're a theater actor. And, so I had to break all of that down over the years. I did a George 2017. I remember I was working as a radio presenter. Okay, so when I finished UI, I came to Lagos because I wasn't getting jobs. I had to meet my aunt and say, please help me. So she helped me get a job at Traffic Radio, not so far from here. And then I was doing a George. Now, LTB is just like 5 days ago. Yeah, we're shooting at George in Eleko. I remember the days I had to take bike from Eleko down to LTB. Yeah. And people in LTB, then Traffic Radio felt I was making a lot of money on my head. People on Ajoche, making a lot of money on Traffic Radio. So, well, just pass through But I knew what I was doing. And I knew both of them were so, demanding. But at the point in time, I felt, I can't do this anymore. I have to leave one for the other. And so 2019, I had to stop radio and to focus exclusively on film. And I'm grateful for how far I've gone. This is my first nomination and the awards. Most of the other nominations are getting best TV series. Yes, but this is general awards, but this is personal. Getting the personal nomination values.
How does it feel?
Do you feel the type of way? It's still like, because I'm wondering, how did it happen? Because Casey said something earlier that, some of the works that he's done are better than the ones that he was nominated for and all that. So, and for The Yard, for which I was nominated and Best Supporting Act, I felt there were other better actors on the show. And then I think I did my better work on Itura. That was like 3 years ago, than what I did for
The Yard.
So then when the Basketball Go Skip was on Sunday, I knew that through the week they were announcing that Chimesi was going to be the host and of the announcement. So Sunday, I was like, it's time for me to go to bed. 30 minutes an hour, someone calls me. I couldn't pick. Sends a voice note. I couldn't listen. Then someone calls me that they've nominated you. I said, well, what did I do? What was the criteria? What did they? And then I went online and they actually nominated me. How did that happen? What exactly did I do? And this, the industry that we're in is all about show and tell. And I hope, personally, I hope that this show will start, at least as somebody works well. No, I know she's ready for. I know she's because even on Ajuche, when they put those soldier straps on you, it fits so nicely. But Adete is always good. I'm always grateful to James Omokwe for giving it off. Not you. So I'm saying thank you to James. I'm also saying thank you to James in advance. So I'm saying thank you to us. So I've been to a couple of auditions for him, but so if you want to say this is nice close up. I'm saying thank you to Casey as well. I've worked with a person that was on the earth. She was nominated. As I said. I'll come back to that. But I'm saying thank you to you.
So the same is real to you.
So you were a music producer was there, Christian Faith before supporting you.
I've not lost
You're still tell us how you went from there to scoring and all that.
Okay.
Because I know that you brought oil and gas.
So that oil and gas is not that deep, but it's not like I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw everybody take their story back and I had to start thinking, because most times if people ask me what are the challenges, I'll always say the challenges is just to make sure that I meet the deadlines are crazy. Well, I heard everybody's story and I remember that I have stories to tell, but I'm not going to really go deep into some more, but in summary, I think I started playing piano like that. If you're a claim randomly, like 10, I run into my uncle room. He had this now. Just if it's not like I've been anything, but at 8, 9, just to go there too. Now then, check if it's coming. Down. I had all that. Then I had to travel with my mom. Travel to that. Then my cousins. So that there was this situation where it's a community where people will train a wood for you, and then I have cousins that I'll not even far away from that always been in a house. They had this toy piano, and then there was somebody like his name is Tolu Olofem. Tolu is like another person. He's not even clean everything right now, but it was just like, take this is what I know, play, I think I was 11, so I would just like try to play random stuff. That's my cousin is the elder brother to Miwa. I don't know if I told you those Miwa. Miwa is an actress. Miwa, all of a friend, up there. So we are like cousins like that, which then we grew up singing on church, all of us. So the little I could play, he that was playing the piano before decided to pick something else so that I can try my hands out and he. So imagine decided to give a try to play Jedi at 12. Before then it was basically hand drums. I liked percussion a lot. I did not like talking drum. But every other percussion try to play differently. In some cases, growing up in the apostolic church, we do something wrong, maybe try to improvise or something, you get a look on your hair. Just play toro. Because it's like an orchestra of different drum. If you try to improvise too much,
Well, affect other unit.
but I was just interested in this thing has to go through to why they are not both sorts of but it wasn't working. So that. Then at 14 or so, I can't remember the age, they had somebody that they were bring in time for conventions to come and play in piano. This guy was always late. It was a one-way program. We were like, this small thing you are playing, could play it now. Play it here. I'm like, I can't play it. I can't play it. They said, all your friends are playing. I had like a group of 7 friends out there playing something. I could only play in my house. I'll never get to play outside to watch. If you will play it, and maybe if you don't play, you get another knock. I don't know. So I just, that's how I started, playing. So I got interested in production very fast. I think when I played that big piano for the first time, it was a diskette. I saw that I could like make sound from 5 different tracks. So I tried it out and it worked. I was like, boom, this thing works. And then like they do very soft, this thing sounds good. So from there, I was even interested in knowing how that works and all that stuff. So that was just the beginning. And then at less than 16, somebody was like, this thing that I had dreamed can work. Let's go and use it for. And that's how I made a church album.
Wow.
And then my mom, I couldn't tell my mom that anytime I don't go like that is what the heck. So it was this the last time that we were always clashing. When a teen boy and the mother, a single mother actually. So we were always clashing. She will smell my mouth to see if I'd come to sing us. That was not happening. So she was very curious and I couldn't tell her, it's player I want to do. I just said I went to do it. Okay, so what are you doing? So all that was ongoing and then there was this day I came home. Just 8 p.m. Simple 8 p.m. Like, is this night to go back to where you were coming from? And in my mind, they will open that studio for me. Oh my God. And like she just said, you will go back. She didn't say it to her. Like, okay, I'm going. I started going. She was following me. Yeah, where are you going? Where I come from? She returned me with the last slap. Like, I told you go back. I'll be back there. I got that real good slap. Then she went to church, and then on a Sunday they were launching an album. Yeah, I'll just sit there. Where your mom be, I won't be your son. Yes, but where your dickness mommy we want you to see. This is where I just stayed. And then my brothers, good singers, I'll still talk about that, but I was just chilling. And then she came to like give me maybe offering or something, just something, and then I never do her. Edupelo money did all these things, right? Yes. And I say yes. You try it. Then when we're going to, like, okay, new rules. If you go, it is 7 o'clock. Don't come back there. And that was it for you. I would go. I will stay in that studio. I will make anything I want to make. I mean, but that didn't last for long. I now got admission into football. I was so like, okay, what am I going to do? So bad, how freaking nice can be very. I don't think throughout my stay in school there was one party, as a kid. That weird.
That's right, Bosu.
Yeah, Bosu, yeah. So in Bosu was so hot that you have to take bike, and then when you take bike, you will almost dry up before you get your release. That bad. So I remember out. Then my others were picking, because it used to be auto carnival, the space about and stuff like that. I just picked fruity leaves. I gave a fruity leaf, 2 or 3 I heard making something. I just said that there's one stuff you really do is in Lagos. People are listening to are you serious? Then randomly the person I'm meeting for just say, let's go, we are going, let's go, we are going. And that's how my doing. I met a lot of amazing people. I can't even start to mention. But fast forward, after I finished geology, I started looking for a job. I'm so interested in that geology that I just saw other thing I do that you be is just my passion. It's not even a gig. I just love to make sounds. Because in church then drama we're going to have where like today is to have church and like living for just opposite school. I think I'll lyric so right from my remedial almost to the end without the posts. If you understand like they want to teach all songs or whatever, but they say give me the boy. I say I need to because I can really size one people like go with director. I got them my life, I will still play ball, talk in class, I'll do the random things I always need. So it gave me a lot of insight into things I could use music for. So I just approached drama guys. Guys, what's happening? People are doing drama, it's giant. Don't worry, I'll borrow these people's keyboard. I'm borrowing these people's keyboard. Assembly the play for me. On this one, I think I can put things like, gunshot and all these things. Instead of doing pow, it's spread out. So I went for I didn't know where it was. It was sound design. But randomly, I had piano in my phone. I had strings there. I had my computer to make all this business share. And we did it. I make sense. Wow. This is good. So, we now wanted to have our like in this particular concert to have two people stand there. One here is one boy here, and you'll be narrating what they're acting. That's our grand subject. That's what we're going to do. We rehearsed that thing for 4 weeks till. That's what they do in Nollywood. I don't think it's going. No, it was all about this one was R&B. We were going. Then it was locked in the closet level of thing that we're doing. So I like we are going to do this. So I think we rehearsed it for 4 weeks. It didn't work. So normally now I have to scrap it. I was like, we are going to do it. You don't have sense. People that connected. but that are like you have to treat or counts me out. So that's like how we started. Even me on the very like, but it went so well that we lifted. I just lifted because I was concentrated that this thing was not fuel. When I looked up, the whole church was crying, doing wow. And I looked behind, everybody that was acting was also crying. I just started weeping. So everybody we gathered outside, we had ourselves for so long that this is so beautiful. That really meant something for me. I didn't know where it was. But in my mind, I wanted to make things like that. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I didn't know it was a film. I didn't know where it was. So I would normally just tell people I still want to do this. Fast forward back to because looking for geology jobs. We're doing blow count. So I started working in capital blow count. So I'm supposed to wear this protective I don't have the title, so I just wear my head kind of listening to music, accounting, and then I try to make out all the sounds together. Is saying you're serious. We're inside but I'm making this still. Those things just start making sense with like I can still hear the way. How is it that if I make it concentrate on the way? So that thing started giving me insight into detail. Sound detailing about that. Me, I did not know what it was. Fast forward, somebody just gave me a studio. His name is Kenny Miko. And if ever goes to me, just said because I should give it today. Fully equipped everything off. And then it was even giving me monthly. You still know over. Yeah, yes. I'm not saying it's for it was giving me monthly. So the only thing I just had to do just to work on myself and do anything I wanted. So 3 years I was cleaning dialogue and FIRS. They will go out and just record random things. And then there was Desperate Child, Conspiracy Talent Hunts. I'm telling you, the music that I done that they didn't get me on it. They said I was just small array. No way, then I'm not good. I'm not basically a PRs. I'm also directors. Then they called me to I'm small, but we like your confidence. They created a post as an director. I'm going to be forever grateful to Uchina, Mr. Chino Kai. She was one that I say, why are you working for? Church, you're to George. Look at how much you've done, and then I don't know if anybody knows was Waleone. Waleone did because so I did a song and then Wale comes and said, and he did this with Fruity Loops. But Yes, yeah. Do you know anything I call Pro Tool, and so it is. Just very small conversation, then I went out to it, and he now called me from somebody just called me, come, you have to look out. Yeah, my guy now said, Wally says you know what you are doing. Wally was the best, then don't worry. Wally says you know what you are doing. So that day I dropped him on that's his okay. She says that if Wally should say then maybe I can know more. That's how I started. And then fast forward, I met Dr. Barry. Low story. My sound was on King of Boys 1. I do like it. So I that caused me and I said, I wanted to make a film. I don't have time for film to I pray everything during a gospel song. A lot of them like you are God, you are not just big. A lot of those gospels I did them there. I was like, I wouldn't really have time for films. Or just let me collect it. Then over the weekend, I finished the film. Hey, he called me back. Did you just finish a film in the weekend? I'm like, yes. Are you sure? All right, yes, bring the data. I was trying to do that. You're a good boy. Fast forward, I started making plenty films from my house. We just sent it to me like, I do it now. Just fast forward now did King of Boys 2. A lot of others say, wow, prophetess. Then very prophetess was right now, and me what dollar, and you should be collaborating with me. I started getting a lot of data. Long and short, so again, from prophetess, I did Dance of Eagles, Brotherhood. It was from prophetess, no, from King of Thieves. After Man of God, actually. I just with Dr. Bayo. A lot of other series I done. Fast forward to Bishabi, to Jabo Jabo, to Behind the Scene, to Das Goes West, to
Animation. Okay.
11.
So look what they complete this himself before this.
See, you're in level. It's even small. Look, see, something is
That's what the still is the gold standard.
right. Yeah. So in terms of, because I like the fact that he's very keen on bringing up younger, the younger generation and the opportunities. So these are bullshit.
But Dobby did being low
Yeah.
in 1988.
Yeah.
1988, Dr. B,
And he's an actual doctor. I mean, that's a very cool doctor.
a Dr. Stone spouse, Dr. Stone.
Yes, he is.
Jengu loves sound. Thus, he has a life path in this.
Yes.
This is my uncle, my great grand uncle.
At time when I'm, you can actually, don't worry, we can work and then you overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed too. People like, but you made this one is different from this one. I get overwhelmed. Yeah, things I do. Like drive random, just, and then they can drive loud, no music at all. I just go and like, it's Dr. B, and Dr. B can say it's around, and I don't even have to respect him. Dr. B will refer to music from 1940.
1940.
Dr. B will just be for 1960, you will for 1960 and tell you the way, and then when you listen to those things, you go back just refreshed. It's not telling you for you to go back to it, it's just
You just expose it to inspirations.
when you go back. Although I had that too, I have this uncle that had turntables that he bought from America for different years. I would always go to that turntable. So I miss those turntables all the time. I think I'll call it engineering day. So you see the Lionel Richie of Night Saints, you see the James Brown of, you see all those things. So I listened to, I don't know.
Even while you are the best, there's still need for you to equip yourself. So those phrase,
Do what people do need to be. You always have to. But for example, there's no W like still existing, but I think because it might actually become the next thing, I think I might be ready for it. There are stuff like I can't even work in the studio. There's no Dolby anymore, and stuff like that. So it's not just the equipment; it's that you now know that this is your passion, this is your creativity actually given to you by God has now become your source of value.
Yeah.
Do you do it for a long time, or do you want to do it for a short time? If you are ready to do it for a short time, you need to keep working. Where I may have 4 fields I'm working on, and having that 2 days that I'm not working on anything, just research. So especially when you are self-taught, when you accept thoughts, you have to really continue teaching yourself, drawing examples from everywhere, and also try to develop like new ways. Like for example, after KOT, I felt like you guys are going to epicalize me. If you keep giving me epics, but then I done Brotherhood, I've done some, really fun stuff. But I feel like I can't just keep get nervous and then there's the way I sound. I like the way I sound on NBA. And I'm happy that a lot of people have adopted that now because some films were there, they're like, Tolu, did you make Fenter? Not like I did not. I mean, a lot of sounds. I can't even start to count. And it gives me joy. Some schools will call me that they are writing on me. They said some people who set exam questions and they say, so Nobody did this on this shall be what do you think about it? It's really, really fun. I spoke to what do you call this that study stuff, somebody that the doctor took the doctorate was seeing and stuff, and they were telling me about what they rated about when he talked about film use. I was in tears, like, whoa, really? Some people just come from maybe you and say, I'm writing on what you do just say doors, and those things really coming like, okay, maybe I did the writing, people trying to change the sound and all of that. So on KOT, I was tired. I was like, if I don't do it differently from Jago, people just think that's how I always sound. I want to sound like that, but bigger all the time. So I requested to go on set. It was a big issue. They saying, look, it's called post-production for a reason. Now they are doing those kind of big films. They will be the ones that are, when are you going to come here and say, this is your ring, this is your this. And I don't have to do anything really. It's just to look at and say, okay, this is what parents again. This is why I feel such things like Lisha be like Javia Gucho, like Ginger or Seven Ginger, stuff like that. I don't want to
I'm curious about what your record is like.
You are lean with the inside AMVCA as a judge, as a board now.
What are you feeling like about you guys about the tour now?
Yeah? No. So James is gonna take us into how maybe what we don't know. Production politics. I would call it production politics. I'll call it what NVC does, so there a bit of what they put in place to see that talents like these are seen, recognized, and rewarded. Is it award?
Yeah.
You understand? So I know you're a fixer. I know you're a writer, and Ricardo portrayed someone here. I'll say. Put it on the camera and say, you see the name for the work. I read the Amazon link. Fans are not going to swim.
That's
great.
There's a logo audition about some applied, so I'm just look for my videos.
Exactly. So because we're going to talking about AMVCA experience now. We shared our personal experience, even though you still have a long way, but I'll be throwing a bit of questions here and there. Well, I just want us to know, because sometimes it feels like the AMVCA is biased. Sometimes it feels like, they're not actually, okay, it's a Viewer's Choice Award, but who are the viewers that are...
Who is making the
who are these people? Another one is mine as well. You understand? So okay. So take us straight with the audience. This is why I hate partiality. You asked everybody to talk about it at the beginning. You read that beginning. That's why I want to talk about born in 1940. You still don't want to talk about dinosaurs. So beginning is long. Yes, they born, they never invent black and white TV.
Arugbojo.
This year, better Caribou. That is my granddaughter. For facts, I thought me is older than me by about 25 years. Yes, wow. His belly is bigger than my bone, but he's my friend. So, AMVCA. One thing I say, there's a lot of misconception about the intentions behind the AMVCA. when you look at the award itself, the intentions behind the award is extremely variable, right? And the organizers try their best to make sure they provide a level playing field, a field that allows our peers to judge us and decide for that year what they feel artistically represents projects that needs to be awarded and rewarded. You know, the first time I was nominated for an AMVCA was by accident. It was a few 10. Wasn't even expecting it.
So sweet documentary have fun. Yeah, how come yours happen accidentally and people who probably applied or they submitted and we don't there.
So now the thing, when I say accidentally, right? What year was that? You know, so we had just finished editing, the film was screened. Now the film itself was supposed to be the promotional film for another film. I've had crazy ideas. So was making this other film, the director had cut it and all that. So I was simultaneously filming the promo. So we wanted to release this promo as a documentary, not really as a documentary, but a 93 minutes project that people will be like Goras. Now people will be like, what the hell? These guys are mad. Then automatically they start looking at projects, movie. So, and when the film was done, the main film was done, presented to me. I was also producing and starring in the film. It was Borat's star. I looked at the film and said, God forbid, there's no way my name will be on this project. Right? Like, I've made a lot of mouth in the industry. Just like you, as if you remember, when we made a lot of non-fiction projects back then, so it was a lot of spotlight. I mean, I started my creative career on BBC African Performance. Then the next thing I was doing was The Apprentice with the Donald Company and my bonnet. Then Sony Entertainment Pictures for Dragons then. So we don't make plenty marks. And then now I'm coming over a film after you've been Nollywood. And this is what they do, right? Zelila, God forbid. So I was depressed, heartbroken. You know, so one of those days, thing was when I actually was sitting down, I'm like, what am I going to do with this step? Well, now, I'm like, I'm going to delete everything. Like, Scott, I'll be in debt because I took a loan to let the film. So she was submitted chemo, everything. No, like, okay, before you delete, let's suck it to survive. Oh, that's documentary. So they nominated me for what? I've not done anything. And then it was that documentary, Nightfall in Lagos. And
By our shower film.
yes, it was a shower film. You know, so yeah, that was how I got introduced into the AMVCA ecosystem. It was a very bold film, very bold, brave. In fact, people will be like, so Mwabudi was one of the first people that covered the screening and stuff. Oh, we're doing it. Oh, what's me doing there? She was like, Jones, he wants me to keep this thing on my TV station. Oh, so they'll come and battle. They had nudity. They had non-simulated sex. It was wrong. Like the kind of films people shy away from making. So, because it was just about two guys who were out on the night trying to look for the cheapest sex they would have in Lagos. So it was a travel guide for guys. And women hated it, eh? Women hated it. People, some women in Germany, people always attacked me. Like, if you misogynist. But men loved it. That's how I got the biggest friend. Was I seeing me all those places, those people.
Enjoy.
I'm just so anyway, so when AMVC are coming to YouTube, AMVC recognized gold storytelling. Then fast forward years down the line, then I became a judge. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this. So I was invited to come judge for 2 years. If you know me very well, you know me, of course. I'm a very controversial person. I'm brutally honest. I don't shy away from control. I'll go tell you as it happened. So when I went in, I don't discover that way too. Well, how is it that I'm the least credentialed person in this whole judging process? So we had people from the US, from South Africa, from Britain, like
Yes, for AMVCA.
I am telling you.
So it's not just our industry, others.
No.
Okay.
Right? We had like proper people, like people who have seen their films, Hollywood films that I'm actually making it, you know. Then we're going to do the process. You know, so they camp us in a place, hotel or something, that I don't know, reveal so much, you know. And we're obligated for that period. I'm not talking about just a few days or something. We have to see all the things, all the film. Yes. To get some sense. To get or pass by. So you have different judging rooms, right? So we have categories that will tax chance to what in judge and all that. So all the films that category, you have to watch everything. You know, then you don't collude. It's so meticulous. So, like, we're all here. So we can't be discussing, oh, so this is what we scored this. No, you can't. So you can have your discussion before, you know, decide on which parameters to approach, how to approach it. Then once you're done watching and it's time to score, there's no collusion. There is an auditor, one of the biggest auditing firms in Africa. They have about 2 or 3 of their representatives in the room auditing the process of judging. Do you understand the intensity? So they will flag any collusion, any. So me, I have this habit of taking down notes because all your paper, you can actually say, oh, why did this film bring? And they'll bring receipts when how the judges voted.
Can I ask if anybody has ever felt in a way that I felt like that in 2040?
I felt like that last year.
Like,
I'm supposed to be the guy.
so win, right?
Win.
Every nominee that didn't win will feel like that.
Yeah.
I felt like that.
So until I saw
is-
Othello Boy, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to win. But you know, I felt like they would call my name. You know,
Well, to be fair to the system, like every nominee is a potential winner. But it's just that you have to pick one person.
Getting
So
nominated, right?
yeah. Like,
but you know, it's not street.
yes. So every nominee that didn't win will always feel like I'm cheated. Like,
And it's a popularity contest. You must know that. It doesn't matter how popular.
Popular,
the
yes.
See, well, having this discussion, you see those.
They are it's cool because you're here as a producer, director, and writer, executive producer. Typical dishes, typical dishes.
he's also executive producer.
Executive producer. Oh my god. Executive producer and the cinematographer. And then if I've filmed in some of the areas that we guys with, and seeing that scale, it feels like you should pick a nomination in cinematography. Oh.
That is straight to you for trouble.
No, I'm just asking.
No, it's not fair to me. To ask that kind of question.
No, but it's not a.
But it's still got nomination, but just for another title.
But it involves both films and
The scale.
and the work. It feels like
For me, personally, I think when we're making the work, we're not making the work to get awards, right? We're telling a story that we're passionate about. And before anybody judge you, understand that creative judge yourself first.
Yes.
You that if there's one of the things that we're so excited about, it wasn't the cinema, maybe by terminology, cinematography, but it's how we were able to use visuals to enhance the story that we're telling. We won internally within ourselves. Like there is nothing.
as a project.
Yeah, do you understand? There is nothing that will come out from any award system that will now make us feel like we didn't do enough or we over kill ourselves? Even if we win the award or get nomination, we would have been like.
But were you nominated for?
For 3 cold dishes: best movie, best directing, best actor, best writing, and best editing. Like so. Do you understand? And he has won best cinematography for 3 cold dishes in Ghana. Like so like yeah, we are grateful.
See, listen. See, one thing I like being is fair.
Yeah.
Me, bro, if I say this year now to flog me.
No, seriously.
There's this film we were part of, right?
Yeah.
Big, huge. It was in Pidgin English. It was delivered in Pidgin English and all that. So that year, we will not even send her because meets the criteria here for the pastors as at that time.
Oh
yeah. So I'm close to the Oscar selection committee. Then my guy was the head of tactical.
Just at some point you go reveal yourself.
I'll go. It never took that long because of this thing. So I was in his house. I sleep in his house, right? The head of the technical committee for the Nigerian Oscar Selection Committee. I said, James, oh yeah, help me with this films and kick. It's very critical. So watch everything. Do you know what I said after watching one of the films? I said, God damn it. Thank God say that our film no eligible. Right?
I get you.
Then 1 week later, I'll be 2 weeks later, the Oscars, they wrote a letter and said, now your film is eligible. We've now recognized Pidgin as official language. Oh, so now we say, we've closed submission. This is that. No, just they say, we now must open submission and enroll this film. Remember what I said though? That the film that they now insisted on said that even me, after reviewing that film, said, Omo, how good our own logo. But now when our own come qualified, of course I have to be biased. The minute I forget to that this one got this all of a sudden, because I'm now in the contention.
Yeah.
I have to rescind what I talk. I
So we make anybody here that could it be that we've been so okay. You want to?
Yeah, I want to say something. I'm just gonna piggyback off what Astofa said. So I think it was last year. Yes, last year I got nominated for my TV series that I produced, and I was executive producer. But I wasn't looking forward to that award. I wasn't even looking forward. I didn't even think that I would be nominated. What I was looking forward to was House of Ga, because I came from the States, straight went into the bush. I was there for 3 months with 91 men, built all the colonies. I was gassing myself up. Now, I wasn't gassing up myself up to say, when the AMVCAs come. It was just a burst of, because people would be like, there was a thing going around like, I only do bougie project. So it was a test of my capacity as a person that can I do epic, even though I almost ran mad after I finished because I was like in a mental phase for 3 months. But the thing is, I already won there because every day I'll tell myself, did you do this? Are you doing, are you crazy? What are you doing? And then when I watched the film, I started crying because this is me, the bougie Bisola that, people think I can't get my hands dirty. I was trying to say, you know what, I need to show people. But then everybody was telling me that, when the film came, everybody was like, and that got into my head. I was just like, no. And then the thing came out, and I didn't even hear House of God in that direction. And I felt a certain type of way. And then the next thing, I started hearing a lot of things. Because it was just my different things. But then I just got called and said, but you have a nomination for your show, which I did because, it was also me trying to say I'm more than an art director. I studied film. I know everything in film. I can do this. And then, I wasn't excited until a few days to the award.
Because this is very important. A lot of people feel this way.
Yeah.
Now let me make this categorical clear here. AMVCA. The AMVCA is not responsible for picking the nominations, for determining who is nominated for
What?
what category. Now, the film production, the production houses decide that at the submission level.
Yeah.
They'll fill in those.
Yes, those
So a lot of
categories.
production houses, they
Yeah.
weaponize it.
Yeah.
So if you
you
have
have
a
issue
falling
with
out
them.
with the EP or something,
I,
they are not
well,
gonna submit to
I didn't
them.
even have any.
They will swap your name self with somebody else's.
No, what I heard was that I mean, the style was that one thing had to be there. It cannot be just one.
Only your name.
Yeah.
Because
But-
one person wanted her name or his name
yes.
joins to yours.
Yes, and that was why.
It's very
But the
important.
thing is, when I didn't get that nomination, I felt bad because it was
Those that
yeah.
submitted it.
Yes.
So they couldn't have submitted your name when they
because
wanted it to be your name.
I got calls from China, from Israel. I got people were in my DMs from like countries that I think one European country that I'd never heard of. People were calling me and was like, I just want to say, people were messaging me on DM, sending me voice note like, you're a beast, ma'am. Like, because we had insignias of all the Ile-Ife tribes. I had sculptors, mural artists. I killed myself on that show. But then when it didn't come out, I asked myself, did I win? Have I won already? And it was just like, okay, yeah, I won, and that's good for me.
So it's one thing for the production company to decide who's going.
So whether it's it, like Casey has said that he submitted about 30 films before. Casey, you can't tell me that he sat down and submitted every damn category. So so you prioritize. Some people prioritize the categories that
I think it's even the producers that does like
but
for like
why-
everybody it
so
was me
my
that
question-
film
my question
submitted for
is,
all the
If
categories.
as a producer,
you rob off their chance to be celebrated.
my
by not
point is, James, if you're a producer, why wouldn't you submit in
for
every
category.
category?
I will tell you.
Yeah.
It's me. I built the table. I've broken it already. They've blacklisted me. I'm blacklisted everywhere. See, let me tell you. I've been on the receiving end of this thing as well. Right? And I've been in a position where I have challenged. There was a year when this in the AMVC nominated me for a category that I was best in photography. And sure, you guys will. So you said, you to that. So I'm like, okay, I know what's going on. Immediately, yeah, I'm gangster. I called out the AMVC. I impressed, called out, tweets, the fine apple. How do I judge all but I said, oh, this, that. I know this, I know how it goes. But please, you can't. And I've gone publicly to clear and say, thank you for your nomination. Well, nah, I don't deserve this. It's not me. I was this DP. I was just bloody second DP. The person that should be is social officer. I gave the guy his flowers. But the point of that issues see, this thing is very complicated. You know, so I've been in categories where no, we don't want film to be part of this.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I it happens. I mean, for me, is two things. Oh, she's very bold. Oh, she has an opinion. So don't call her. But why wouldn't I have an opinion? I'm an artist, right?
You have your voice.
I have a voice. If you look at all of the films that I've done, there's a style. I have a style that I work with, right? And there's imprints of myself in anything that I do, right? So why wouldn't you want me to have a voice? And that's why I said AMVCA was my biggest playing field, because they let me express. So you see that if you look at AMVCA, the textures are amazing. And, you know, same thing with House of God. I built all those things.
And we're first-time filmmakers.
Yes, the twin brothers.
Yeah.
And it crushed Berlinale everywhere around the world. And you know what? One thing the directors would never or did not do, they didn't take the glory.
No.
Everywhere they had to mention about the style of the film, the look, they were like, oh, credit to the production designer Thaisa and Bisola, who's the art director, because Thaisa is Brazilian, right? But she loved the Yoruba tribe, so that was But then I'm Nigerian, even though I'm learning a lot of things. I mean, I learned how to speak Yoruba in 2015, but I've always been in tune with my culture and my heritage and all of that. So for me, a lot of people are like, oh, she's too bougie. Oh, she's too expensive. I like that fact when you say I'm too expensive.
I want to ask, there's a category, I'm not going to mention the name, but every year there's this particular person come out having 4, 5, 3 nominations. Do you feel entitled? Like you feel like, how is she?
So yeah, the one nomination should so
You had 11.
Well, 12.
11, God.
Is this 11th or 12th?
This is 11. So you have 11 nominations.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like, the shit, no other person, who be the person?
Yeah, so I think that's it's a humbling experience for me, and I'll tell you, Pound. Now, when I really, really went to do Nollywood and I did KOT for the first time, in my mind, I wanted to be for 2 years. I had that bless. I was really big to be for 2 years and stop. In fact, I was already telling people, I'm going to do this thing for just 2 years. I think I'm going to be bored and,
What year is it?
Since 21.
No, like how? What's like? Is this the second and third?
It's like the fifth
year.
No, after your verdict, 1 year, like 6 years.
So that's how it come out to. So because I was like, I just want to do it the way I want to do it, and then I had freedom from executive rules. I say, okay, like for example, I can't do
Like, you take off your glasses.
do Yoruba film. I really can't do Yoruba film because will you people let me do things I want, the way I want to sound, the way I want to. And I'm waiting for it to be sound. And you can't say it's a particular genre. I always start except that I'm going to give this genre a new meaning. And then I go a yes. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it. Then I'll do it for 2 years, and that was it. There, KOT was first. I cannot forget when I got nominated. It's not like I was not expecting it.
So you feel like very good joy. I was expecting.
That year, yes, I was really expecting that, and I felt like, but when I got nominated 3 times, my mom was like, "There's no day way I'm not winning one." That's the thing.
But did you win a better?
No, I didn't win, and that was the
out of the 3.
Yes, and that was the humbling experience for me. It's from there, but getting nominated actually made me like, oh, I want to stay. It really encouraged me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. When I got nominated, I had my friend Kolade say, "You don't know how big nomination is. God, I got nominated. Yeah, I done gas boost, I done all those things. So I was just expecting nominations, and these were like different films. Felt like, I should get nominated. But I cannot lie, that nomination kept me in Nollywood. It was so encouraging. Coming in doing your first media feature by yourself, every other one is being you do it, you send it someone, do it, I don't even watch the film after I did that. I cannot lie. But that
You want to say something?
No, I mean, it's like, no, you can stop saying that.
no, like I don't go back to go and watch on weird. No, of course, after premiere, I must watch on premiere to hear. I feel, but then
When I said it was a joke.
okay. So it was so encouraging. I can't even describe how much. And then you see that not winning the first time, Kai, it did not disturb my work, but it made me feel like, okay, maybe I've not done
Enough.
wow. I need to do more, not to win,
Okay.
but to get that same nomination like all the time. I think that thing gave me the thing I do now. It's not just about MVC. It made me realize that people are looking at you, or people are watching now. It made me realize that every project is an original. I don't know if you know what that means. For me, every project is an original. For films that will not even come to you as important, I almost did not do 7 doors. I was just looking at that, but the opening for me was everything. I was like, every project should be this, and it was not even an original there. but the opening, I was like, this sound needs to work. And then the opening of Miss Shabi, for example, for like 7 minutes or 11, there was no double, So for me, AMVCA, that first division encouraged, humbled, and helped me, trained me. And I'll tell you what, if I had won that first time, don't worry, I'll be there. No, I cannot lie to you. But it's not because I'm not doing it to win again. But I'm doing it to see that maybe I said something. I need to always set a standard for myself and for the things.
I know that the first time for me, let's go to Aso, well, to KSA, once wanted. So now, 11 nominations. Nobody here has 11 nominations. I'm sure it's a thing of pride, right? But yeah. So after 11 nominations, one win, what's your next aspiration? Is it more AMVCA nomination or something bigger? Because I believe at the AMVCA, the whole dream is to empower you, to give you that confidence, expose you to the continent, and then empower you to go out and conquer the world. So what next?
So, to always get nominated and win is what I will always do for it, but I'm not stopping there. Like, for example, I think I'm trying to do a Hollywood gig right now, and I have a marriage that are able to try to get me try to expand ourselves. So I've gotten like one that I can't mention the title yet, but is not really something I want. That would be
Once your work crosses the border, once it crosses the border,
I just want them to feel like, so the dream, the goal is
bro, like last year that is trying to get me. So it is have cancel, they're not even dealing. They want to try and get me something. I'm saying,
which is the way to.
So thank you so much for being going. So I know you have to go somewhere right now. Thank you so much.
I'm really honored.
Congratulations once again.
Congratulations. Just in case AMVCA continues, which are very rumors. No, I wanted to ask you what you want. You had people that like your mentor and all that. And does it feel like you need one more to be sure that Lamide there? Or it's just happening or you're trying out fantastic jobs?
First of all, it's such an honor to be nominated and more. To have a win, it's even a bigger. There's a video I found on my phone recently. Like I really my validation is not tied to things like this. And it's not because I don't think they're great. It's just happens that I have really big social anxiety. Like just being outside makes me super anxious.
So what's your validation tied to?
It's tied to my ability to do exactly what it is that I intended to do from the jump.
Freedom to be created, to create.
And that's how we made 3 issues.
It was obvious. It was obvious that Sid's skill.
Because at some point in my career, I had always worked with directors that I'm more experienced than. So at some point, I was the most experienced person on set. I figured that in order to grow, I needed to work on directors that are more experienced than me. I needed to work with other people who I could learn things from. And that comes with just me understanding, and it's just the education my mentor had given me before I came into the business. And even till today, when I talk to them, I was like, hey, there's this thing. I had a project recently. I called my friend DP to say, seek his opinion on something. I don't know if that's what people are, strong enough to admit that they do. I called a friend. I say, hey, I'm about to get on. I'm talking about 2026. I was like, yo, I have this shoot. I'm feeling a little bit lost. with this aside. We had a chat about it, and that helped me so much. Getting through the project. So my validation is not tied to winning the award. Like you said, we won internally. I know how much stress we went through on the project, and winning an AMVCA would be great, to be honest. And it is just for the ego, right? But just knowing that we got to
Finish that project.
Like you even finish with
so like, mind you, I came onto the project as a DP and left as an EP. So like, that's how much I liked it.
how much rain was there.
It wasn't just about, I wasn't doing it just to win an award or stuff. It's like, the more we went into the story, the more I fell in love with the stories. So, but also I understand that it's important to send people. Like I was saying, I found a video on my phone. My kid is 5. He's going to be 6 soon. And he's like, so he's learning how to blog. Takes my phone. He starts to record video of himself just yarning. You know how kids can be. Goes around the house. He will be giving people a tour of the house. So this is where my daddy loves to sit. This is his video game room. This is da. Then my sister, I was at work, and my sister sent me the video. My kid saying, "Hey guys, my dad just won an award. Do you want to see what the award was for?" It was the day, because he had sent me the Rafa award on that day.
Okay.
And I had picked it up, and my kid was like, "Daddy, what is that?" I said, "Oh, I won an award." He goes, "Really? Let me see." So I had him hold it. I took pictures of him, and I was going to put it, I had this drawer on the stack. He's like, "No, Daddy, let's put them on the dining." And so I went and brought my AMVCA where it was. I added it to that one. I blitzed on the dining. So while he was eating and he was watching videos on the phone, he started making videos, and he was, "Hey guys, let me show you what my daddy won. My dad won an award." So he starts to show up the award. And I just realized how important that is to him. And not just him. Every time I get nominated or anything at all, I'm in the media for anything. My family WhatsApp group is always like, I never really understood why they were so happy.
You have the start rate, Obi?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. So, yeah, let me tell you something now, all of it. One thing they don't understand, you don't understand how important that AMVCA is, right? So, it's not supposed to be, but somehow it is. You know that in terms, politically, it is not the most, in Africa, right? The Academy Award has, it gets you more access. But
It's still very prestigious.
it's step. Like, so I give you this story. Sorry for cutting you short. I'm just trying to buttress your son. What you do. So the Trinidad trip, I went to Trinidad to teach for almost a month. I had this session teaching the filmmakers and all that. And how did it start? So it was from Collision winning an AMVCA. These people fleeing from Trinidad. They were here, they came, close with the awards and all that. And it was as if I had won an Oscar. So it was validation enough. Like, so this, and there, when you go to their country, they look at the AMVCA as the Oscars for Black people.
Oh, yes, but yeah. That's what it is.
It's the Oscars for Black people. And here I am, like this idiot, but just won one. With my name engraved on it. So there was this credibility, this stamp that it placed on me. I had the golden ticket. I was treated like royalty. You said I should write my technical rider. You need to see my technical rider.
So, Bisala, I wanted to ask you, you were on a project recently, and it feels like such projects don't get to be entered for every series. Do you feel the type of way? I've done some projects that I know that we did a great job, but it's not good. It's going to be entered for AMVCA. Do you feel like, they were robbed? Yeah. Do you feel like they haven't seen my best?
So now I wouldn't say that. I would say earlier in my career, you know, when I'm like, yeah, I'm putting the work, and then AMVCA comes and those films are not there. I didn't understand why. But like now I know that, you know, there's certain sentiments towards putting some things in the AMVCA. But then like over the years, I mean, initially it would have been nice to get an AMVCA for those things, but then it didn't happen. It just, for me, it may be the first time I felt a certain type of way, because everything that I do is pretty much show and tell. Like, so yes, the validation at the time meant something. I'm talking like maybe 8 years ago, 7 years ago. But then when I think 3 MVCAs happened and none of the works that I did, you know, were there. I mean, and they were obviously much bigger budgets, bigger work, you know, bigger scale. And sometimes I'm like, what are these people really looking for? And after a while, I was just like, okay, I'm not doing this for the award. I'm doing this because I love this. When I remember all of the hurdles I had to, you know, pass through to show why I want to do this, I just kept going, you know, doing my work. And my first AMVCA that I won, Casey and I worked together on that, Over the Bridge. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember when I read the script, and I was just gonna say, I
feel like that year, the award was proper.
Yes.
Because
I was
that
just-
year, years 3, Santa's a joke.
I was gonna say, like, so I think, I mean,
judge my category. When in judge my category.
Yes.
so I feel like aside the director who drives you know, the show, I love that I have great relationships with the cinematographers, because I feel like aside the director, everybody else, both of us have to be in sync. So I have great friendships with this guy here.
Yeah, he's a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, he is.
Nigga is sick now. And we've
And
never
there's
met
some-
before.
some-
This is the first time we're meeting him.
And there's some other, you know, great DOPs, cinematographers that I have great relationships with. And like, it just helps my work, right? Because we know that on different spectrums, we're telling the story through our lens. His lens, the camera lens, my lens from the
world.
persona and the world's lens. So we both have to be in sync. And I'll say that year that I won the AMVCA, I was sitting with Tunji Afolayan, who is my friend, you know. And again, some people feel like if you're doing the same thing, you have to be enemies. I am not in that school of thought. You know, for House of God,
Nominated in the same category.
yeah, I mean, that means our work is same, you know.
Yeah, like I was saying, yes.
You know,
I was
and then-
sitting with Stanley when
Cargo.
Stanley when Mato won.
Yes, I remember speaking to Tunji. We were both sitting down, like, oh yeah, you're always raking the award. Go and carry your award. And they said, oh, the winner is Abisola Omolade. And I was still looking at him. I went.
But we're on set. How'd you go?
I had a BBC interview for Hilda Bassi's thing that I did, the Guinness World Record.
The slide.
Oh no, I didn't. I said to the director.
I think, yeah, she's right. Because I even forgot the award was happening.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I went because I had it was the same film.
How you were? The same thing.
Yeah, and we were working on something in
Another
Abuja,
project.
something about the rigs, right? But I had to go because I had a BBC and CNN interview for doing Hilda Bassi's Guinness World Record, right? So I was
You
there.
made the pot?
No, I didn't make that pot. No, I didn't make the pot. I mean the very first
Oh, the
one.
first-
Well,
oh,
I've done
yeah,
cooking.
yeah, yeah.
I did all of it, all her world
No, the
records.
pot, I'm just fascinated.
No, somebody else did that. But yeah, I was part of the people who sketched out the food. Anyway, I was saying like I was sat right beside Tinji and I was like, go and take your award. They called my name for like 10 minutes. I didn't know. And people were like, Please hold.
You know, stand
I wasn't expecting it, but that year I felt like, oh, my work got recognized because Over the Bridge is not your typical kind of film. But we needed to tell the story in a particular way. And Casey and I had, you know, lots of back and forth, you know, how he wanted to film and, you know, it just helped. But the thing is, for now, I'm not in competition with anybody. I feel like my best work.
Good is your problem.
Yes, my best work is yet to be seen. But am I the real deal? Hell yes, I am.
She's lying. She's not lying.
Am I the real deal? Hell yes, I am. I feel like every art director has their own style, and nobody should rub anybody off their style or the way they express. We all express things differently. Some people will swear to you that Bisola cannot do a poor man's film. And I will say that I'm thinking about it. I think everything I do is art. It will be poor, but it will still look nice. So, yeah, right now, I feel like there are movies that I've done that have crossed the borders. And I'm not about to brag, but if any movie is coming to Nigeria, I don't want to feel some part in Nigeria, I'm the top of the list. My name is the first name that they will call, and I would get that gig. Right?
See,
Okay.
So, the latest work that I've done is Clarissa, and Clarissa is going to be distributed in the US by one of the biggest distributors, Neon, right? Which is a big deal for me.
Yeah.
That film,
second unit, yeah.
that film, I don't know if it's going to get into the AMVCAs,
that's what I'm saying.
but
James, what is happening to your
when
neck?
we wrapped, right? When we wrapped, we saw a first cut, and I was crying. It was a lot of people. We had David Oyelowo, we had Ayo Devere, so for me, my work has crossed the borders, and that's my goal. That's apex for me. Working, not just doing Nigeria.
You crossed borders.
So let's say something later. I didn't even know you were going to say Clarissa. I thought you were going to say Deajay.
So I was going to talk about Deajay in another thing, right? Deajay is very beautiful. Deajay is something that, sparks something in me. I worked with Casey on that. And just sometimes looking at the pictures, I'm just like, this is really beautiful. Again, there's a particular kind of style that the story was told. I mean, I'm talking about Clarissa now because it was buzzing, everybody's talking about it. Deajay is storm that will hit everybody, and you wonder, Ibadan, yes, and you wonder, how did this happen? So, yeah, and I art directed it.
I think that's Dami, right?
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, whether your work is in the AMVCA or not, I think winning inside of you is the ultimate.
Taking this job in a way.
Yes.
You see this thing,
Yeah.
for body like, right? I know it's studio, but I said, see, listen, we're not part of this local competition. We don't want to compete locally. We're not participating in any local awards. We're only participating globally.
Yeah.
And they've meant it. We've worked on a lot of their projects and stuff. So the only time they feel like, oh, the award is what being part of is when is in North America or stuff like that. Man, it works for them there, right? So there's also like My Father's Shadow. I'm happy that My Father's Shadow was also nominated this year at the AMVCAs, that they didn't feel the need to snub the AMVCAs even after having won a BAFTA, a Cannes,
the recognition at
the recognition of Cannes. When we were at Cannes, the film was, very well received. Like, there were tickets floating about for Tom Cruise's film Mission Impossible and stuff. I'm good. Somebody cared about it. But My Father's Shadow, we couldn't get a ticket to see on Father's Show. So it was a moment of pride. And I like the fact. So AMVCA is not just about, oh, come, let's celebrate and win an award. It's the most important artistic cultural event in Africa.
Yes.
Just like Cannes is in or the Berlinale, or TIFF in North America, or Sundance. That's what AMVCA is to us at this point in time. So it's not just about the winning, being nominated or winning. It's about that one time you have in the year to do your peers.
Yes.
How many times? The only time so would they see for film festival at AMVCA.
Yes.
So you sit down by the bar, and so that connection is what matters. Some people let me tell you something. a lot of people, the people who slay on the red carpet and make the most money from AMVCA.
They're not the filmmakers.
People send them invites.
Yes, you just come there.
They are coming on red carpet and go.
Yeah.
Do you know, being a nominee, you know, we do like that guy. On that day, there are people who will offer us anything in the world to get this extra ticket. Do you understand?
Yes.
So when you have that rush, that weekend and stuff like that, then they invest money. Women appearing that they spend nothing less than $500,000.
No, it's more than
All
Makeup, styling,
Everything.
yeah, it's kind of over $1 million, bro.
It's a festival.
Yes.
It's not a festival.
Like
Yeah,
styling,
James, I just-
glamming,
James,
they're
I'm a
content
round of
creator and all of that, bro.
So in a nutshell, like I was saying earlier, like winning is internal. The AMVCA nomination is great because I would say somebody was asking earlier, like, what does the nomination do for you? The nomination for me made people see me differently. I remember when I got nominated, people was like, yes, about time. That's what I'm talking about. And then the win, I had the most busy year. And I had the busiest year after my win. And that win got me my spot on Lady. Lady won at Sundance. I had directed that. I would say that the win for me, or the AMVCA win,
You should buy us lunch.
the AMVCA win has opened doors for me. I won't lie about that.
Clarissa,
And those are films with all those 10 million budget.
Anyway, I'll say win or no win,
Yeah.
you know, nomination or no nomination, it has its perks. It also has its downside. People be like, yeah, you're calling this price because you want. No, my price, my rate card has always been a certain type of way.
Conversation we also need to
Yes, but then
we'll go to Red Cup after.
I need to check out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So like like what Asaf said, but at the time you're doing it, if you feel like I have justified everything and I've done a great job, I think my biggest cheerleader is myself. It didn't used to be like that. I always used to want to get validation from my siblings, from my family, from my friends, all because of the last born syndrome. But growing older, I just knew that if I can gas myself up, whatever you say, I don't really care. And
I remember on House of God,
yeah,
and I called you to say, and I said, "Have you seen what you're up with?"
yes,
And she was like,
I wasn't even looking. I wasn't looking at the scale. So somebody took me. Somebody took me to the hilltop and said, "Look."
Better view.
And that was when I was like, "Oh my God,
when I
this
was
is
leaving house,
amazing."
God, me, thank you.
Yeah, because you are so engrossed in the work, trying to make it happen, and you don't even see the beauty in what you create. So when I got on that hilltop and I saw it, I was like, okay, yes, you did that. You're no longer stereotyped like the girl that does bougie stuff. A lot of people say, oh, she has privilege, she has privilege. I want to go dirty. I want to go to that. I want to, know how it, I did Blood Sister. Yeah, those are the things that, push me or pushes me beyond, certain limits. So,
You know what? When people say I'm bougie, they're actually not talking about the kind of project.
They're talking about you.
kissing.
So thank you very much.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Siri. Thank you, Asaf. Nice meeting you. About you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having us.
When you sit down and I'll
Thank you.
somebody's looking.
No, we are going.
Thank you, James.
Absolutely, thank you. We are going together.
Thank you, graduating.
Thank you so much.
Is that on your phone?
Yeah, that's my
Oh,
fault.
that's a project. That's our machine.
James, I'm taking this book. I'm not paying for it.
I was going to say that, when you go through theater arts training, it kind of breaks you down because theater art doesn't really care about how you look. Doesn't care about whether the cameras are there or the sound is good or it's all about you. been on set with a couple of people, with a couple of actors, and they'll be like, but this is good. And I'm like, because you don't know me doesn't mean I'm not good. So I always have that back of my mind that, okay, yeah, the award is good. I'm happy because this is my first time getting hesitated, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm good at what I do. Yeah. Whether you give me the award, whether you nominate me, it shouldn't affect how you approach work on a daily basis. You have to always put your best foot forward, and you can never tell the film or the project. Certainly, because like I said, the work that I did on the yard, I think some people did a lot more. The one that I would have expected was Itura. That was like 2 years of nothing hammers. So, and then playing Oga Joe, he's quite different from everything I've done so far, especially for African Magic. And then I get nominated for it. I was scared when I got the brief for the character. He's bad. He's this. He's that. And then I'm like, can I really do this? But then I had to get into it. You contracted it for YouTube.
You did a great job.
And I'm also happy again that African Magic projects are being, especially performances. Over the years, a lot of performance-related awards, either wait for either TV shows or films in the cinemas. But now, an African Magic show is nominated, and the performance in that African Magic show, because a lot of people feel TB is African Magic, have kind of been labeled an African Magic actor.
Right.
And I'm like, it's the word I say. If I say African Magic, I have to take care of my family, right? I have to take care of myself. So if African Magic is the only one that is coming to me
With the red logo,
I have to do it. If I see cinema work, I'll do it.
He's still performing, regardless of even the platforms.
So
He's still an actor on the project.
They are, spotlighting actors.
Who else is it with you, James, again?
I have a different opinion.
Oh, boy.
So they please.
So the fact that we even have to make this distinction is problematic, right? The fact that we have to make this distinction is problematic. No doubt, interacting with you, there's one thing right? There's a way I approach casting, right? I'm a very crazy person. I don't usually put actors in front of a camera and do a screen test, do this traditional audition before I cast you. How I cast is we sit down, we chat, we vibe. I cast you based on your healthy dose of film appreciation. So how well do you know film? What type of films have influenced you? What type of performances have influenced you and stuff? So if I have that conversation with you, then I'll know whether you're an African Magic in quotes actor or an actor or a performer or a movie star. I don't mess around with movie stars. I like actors. There's a distinction between an actor and a movie star.
And I do know that some of the differences, of course, has to do with K at some point.
Yeah.
Because if you say you're a movie star, of course, I know, especially now, Magic, I know how the pay structure is kind of like, because of the transition, because of our economy, a lot of people are not really buying into DSTV right now. So I understand, in terms of, the pay structure, but I think it could be better, Sha.
So that brings into a point, this last question on this particular edition, which is, should there be like a base rate card?
How should the pay how should be structured? Is it based on the number of years you spent in the industry? Is it your
talent
to power? Is it
skills?
talent?
Yeah. So I was thinking, maybe it should be, it can't be based on if you have won and year received. So, somebody.
We will reduce the price because of that.
If that's the case, that guy with 11 nominations be the highest paid, bro. Tolu will be the highest paid.
How do we do? Because some
Is it even possible at all to have a pay structure?
The AMVCA is so see. Be careful what you wish for, right? When you win, I get too many nominations and stuff. You think that your phone starts ringing immediately. Sometimes it stops the phone from actually ringing because people, this one has gone. He's above. He's not above. It don't affect you. It does affected you. Like and you like it's not even make me an offer. Though your taste would have been refined and stuff. So definitely it can be, based on which awards you've won and stuff like that, or how many years you've been in the industry. I think we should start teaching artists the arts of negotiation. We as artists must become businessmen. Like our Igbo man friend, they said his friend is now an executive producer. See, really, because you are as good as what you can negotiate.
Producer, we need to collaborate with this game.
God please recently. Like, I've started as a producer and I've signed checks, like approved payments for actors who were taking like 5-10 times what I was standing as a producer on, right? And I've earned more not producing, just like I've been on a few Africa Magic shows, like it's never even a set. For one day, I don't even know where to shoot the things and stuff, but I enjoy my credit card and my loan. What?
That's all.
To be honest, I don't think we can ever get a base rate for anything in the industry. And it's basically simple as how the entire chain is structured. To make a film, you need a producer. A producer needs to define what a provisional budget for the project is. And whatever everybody on that project will get is based on whatever the provisional budget for that project is. So I might work with Casey on this project, and I feel like Casey will be the best cinematographer for deliver this project. But what if I can't afford? What if not me now? But what if this project can't afford or accommodate Casey? Would I now, because of that, walk away and start looking for anybody that I think can fit in? My approach will always go to. They say I bully a lot, but I can only bully my friends, and not to bully them into conforming to what I'm offering, but to come to the table with a better offering. You can negotiate with more than money, like the immediate cash, right? Like Casey came on board 3 Cold Dishes as a salary earner. Like he was paid, negotiated for a role on the project. And then we started working. I'm like, no, I'm getting worth more than what I paid this guy. It would be unfair for him not to co-own a part of this world that we're building together. Like, and I started talking to him like, bro, you know, we like investing in 3 Cold Dishes. Before I walk up to him, before I walk up to him, no. So see, no, it's actually the other way. It's actually the other way around. I was at a stage where, if you were on the set of 3 Cold Dishes, it was everybody worked beyond the pay. Like, if I had the money, it was that moment where it was underpaid. Like, Casey didn't charge me. It was like, okay, what do you have? When we wanted to go, because I wanted to do this project, I love this story, and I want to be part of it because you're doing it, right? So it was that moment, and I'm like, looking back at what I paid for what I was getting, if I have liquid, it was that moment where you can give bonus to say, no, Paddy, no, you're doing well.
So that people don't take what you're saying out of misconception. Yes, I said I was going to do it because I liked the story, but on one condition. If you provide me with the tools to do it. And it made me rent the kind of camera that I fit and the choice of lens. And I delivered that on my camera. I cannot just say, oh yes, I'm gonna do it, then I accept to do it. Like I was saying earlier, and the last 4 or 5 films I've made, I am either executive producer, co-executive producer on 3 of them. Not just in credit, but also in
the business, yeah. So
also, just getting all of that sorted. Like when people hire me, I don't know if people know this. Sometimes I get interviewed as well before I get hired, and people will ask me, "Oh, Casey, they think I'm getting interviewed." I I go sit down and I have this interview with either the producer, the director. We talk, and then at the end of the day, they get back to me like, "Oh my guy, I like how our conversation went the other day, and I think we like to hire you on this project," which is always great. Well, after I go through that, I have my own rules of engagement as well, which is where I fall out with people. You know, like when I say to them, "Well, I would like to make your film. I like your story." Before I like it, I have to imagine it. I imagine it a setting where there's something, like, mind you, I'm not trying to build an entirely new world. You've sold me an idea. I have taken that idea.
Complimenting.
I am a. Do you get what I'm saying? The problem is that most times when people sell you that idea, they don't know what it would cost
To build it.
So when they tell me and I say, "Oh, I think we should go and get this," just, you know, it usually scares them, and they're like, "Oh my God, this guy's a little too expensive than I thought." Mind you, the expense is not the money they're giving me, but the money they're probably
just
you know, and it comes up in many ways because, first of all, people hire me and they're like, "Oh my God, Casey, I feel like you are doing amazing. I think," but like what they don't know is that
they enable
Casey today did not become Casey alone. You know, I have a team, I have a gaffer, I have a focus puller, I have a grip guy. These people
come up with it.
exactly.
they even want to work with on those projects.
Are my second pair of eyes on set, and when I talk to them, like when I'm working, sometimes, like I said, I was telling you before we even got on camera, it feels like I'm a little bit more enthusiastic about the film than the people who own it. Like sometimes I've done all these things and they've sent me a director's treatment, and then I've sent them a visual look for the film in maybe like a week. I've read the script maybe a couple of times. I've built a visual look for the film. I've gone for recce. I have built a recce document. I have sent that out. I'm sending them stuff. Sometimes I feel like I overwhelm them with all this information. So I just,
The problem is structure.
I don't know what the problem is.
So what you feel is overwhelming to them would be normal somewhere else.
Not structure.
Because for us,
That was what make it sweeter, like a collab really exciting. Like
he sent me my Bible for the proud. And I remember we got on a call and I said to him, "I'd like to hire a post-production team now." Before we went on set. For real, yeah. I was like to hire a post-production
and
team.
he was specific about who was going to call up.
So they
And I have to onboard the
That's
person because
Was that like even the film that I had just made with Bisola and Dami, Diajay? Me and Dami were just, experimenting, just do, what I call creative sparring. So we're just like going back and forth on ideas and visual for the film. And I just said to him, like, I have an idea. Back in the day, my mentor had told me a story about how he made a whole documentary on one lens. And, I want to make this whole film all 1/1 And he was like, huh? One lens from the day we roll camera till the day we wrap. So if we rent a lens set, I'm going to pick just one out of that set. And that's what I'm going to shoot the entire film on.
So the first two.
And so he said, okay, I'm going to think about it. And he thought about it, and 2 days later, we're talking on the phone. I asked him, have you thought about it? He said, yes, let's do it. It's the same thing with Over the Bridge. I was talking to Polajayi and I was just like, yo, see, because I had an idea on the lens that I wanted for the film because of how the film, had a lot of landscape, right? And anamorphic wasn't very available at the time. I was like, what, I wanted to find interesting ways to shoot the landscapes, right? 16:9 makes sense. When you think about it, you put it on the big screen, landscape 16:9, fantastic. But I had a different idea and I was like, oh, this guy's an architect. And I'm like, you know what? I'm talking about the director. I'm not talking about the character. And I'm like, I'm trying to see how I can add his vision and his real life career into the film. So like when you watch the film, some of the B-rolls were shot with just buildings. And buildings would offset the camera either to the left or to the right, depending on the way the character is going to next. So all of those things I visualized and I thought about it.
And I was in Dubai at the time, so there was a little bit of time difference and stuff. And I called him on the phone one day around 2 a.m. and he answered, 2 a.m. Nigerian time. And when I called, he answered. I was like, yo, I didn't even know he answered. I just decided to try my luck. And we started to talk. And he goes, so, have you decided? I was like, the lens I want is on set and it won't be available until, we'll already be on set when the lens will be available. And he said, what do you think? I have an American friend who's a cinematographer. I was like, oh, I'm going to borrow his K35s. But I told production, give me what your budget is for lens. I called this guy, can I borrow your lens? I said, yeah, sure. So I was going to borrow his Canon K35s. The money is not enough to rent the lens. So I said, I will just use the money to pay for the shipping. I'm telling the guy I'm borrowing the lens. It was willing to give me for free. As long as I pay for the shipping, I ship it back once I'm done. I told production were on board. This day I had gone to set. I had finished shooting the music video. I was just driving home. Again, midnight. You know how it is on set. And I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about this film. There's something Tolu Ajayi had told me that he wanted the character to feel isolated, even when they're in public sometimes. And I was just thinking about it, like, that is so heavy because it sounds very simple, yet hard to do, like coming from how you block the character, coming from how you do words there, like what lens choice you want to make when you're doing the close-ups. And I thought about it so much, then that led me down to thinking about texture, texturizing the image and how this person's skin tone would feel on camera, how the backdrop was going to feel and all that. And we were shooting a lot of skies. How, how would the lens react when the sun hits the glass? I just thought about that. I was like, one of the best choices we have right now is to go with a Sigma. And I thought about the Sigma primes. I'm like, yeah, man, that makes sense. And then I started thinking about the characteristics of this camera, and I know double lens coating. I was like, oh man, that is fantastic for exteriors and all that stuff. And then I thought about it again. I was like, ooh, I can do something with this film. So when you watch the film, when the guy is in the city, the film is in 16:9. When he was in the ocean, it's 4:3. And I called Tolu Ajayi that morning. I was like, yo, Tolu, so I had this idea. Again, middle of the night, but I was in Nigeria at this point. It was 3 a.m. I just gone home. I just picked up my phone and I dialed his number. I was calling him because he told me I can call him anytime. So I called him. He was like, yo, Tolu, I think I've figured this thing out. I don't have to shoot this lens. I think I want to have a Sigma Prime. And I want to shoot this film with two formats, 16:9 and 4:3. He said something to me. So in case you look, let me tell you what. I've edited the script. I've gone through the script. I've built these characters. That's my job. How this film looks is your job. Whatever you want to do, it's your thing.
So it's a point where the director hands over the picture to the this.
If you trust me. That's what it's supposed to trust. And
all this process that you just mentioned now, I believe is part of, and the fact that you mentioned that you already have a crew, like one way, I think all of that, you have to put all of that together in
whatever you're negotiating on it. So like I was saying initially, like I then have to negotiate equity to compensate for things that I can't use cash to, like I can't offer as cash to still get him. Like I would at the end of the day get, no, you know what, I'm not interested, or I would have been able to hire the best person that I think is fit for that project without the budget restriction. Yeah, so which is the reason why I don't think that in base rate will work. And budget keep like changing projects, like every project with its own dynamics.
This is process, for instance, is, if you want to re-rate in terms of pay, those times that you think, those hard thoughts, nobody can actually pay for that.
You can pay talent.
Nobody can actually move.
That's what I believe. That
you can pay talent. You can't pay talent. The same thing that Mr. A is doing, another person will pay 100 for it, another B will do it and get 1,000. Not that because one is more talented than the other or can do it better than the other.
It's a soft model. I think the soft is on something here, right? So we've had this chat several times about creating this model where the creators become participants in the profit of the film. Yeah, I've always had this, like, we're still working towards it. Godwin is one of my frequent collaborators. I don't think there's any film that I've done in any capacity that you've not been part of, right? So, but my model has always been, see, listen, why can't we do this? See, me as an AP, if I get 10%, 15%, 20% of the equity, I'm fine, I'm good. So, if I'm discussing with the finance guys and we're able to land at 60-40, 50-50, 70-10, whatever, that portion that comes
To you can use it to trade.
trade with everybody on a piece of what you're coming into. So now Casey will be very invested. So you see the frustrations that I have when I'm directing, producing, and also serving as a cinematographer. You know, because of how obsessed I am
To the
about
project.
how the film should look and feel. But I don't like doing that. So if I have somebody that I'm like, okay, Casey's on that level, you know, right? I can't afford him on this budget that is in no budget, right? But if I'm able to make him
convince
one
you.
of this, then that headache of look and feel will come out.
Own it.
Just carry on. On the head.
Now he has a stake and he has to make sure it comes out right.
Exactly.
And I think it's also good for, especially for crew, because there's this assumption that producers make a lot of money. Up until now, like Casey now is now executive producer. He's now a producer. Like, if we're not making money, I'm not the one to say, bruh, we're not making as much as you think. Like, they see it from a different now.
I have a project.
As a talent now, it's seeing the business side, like it's seeing what we're also exposed to as a producer, and I guess it would also shape how you kind of now rate, like you define the kind of project that you work on. You define the kind of project that you work on, and like, bro, if you don't have my pay, I know they.
And definitely you can't do everything.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
You have to just choose the
Select. Yeah.
Because if you look at, there was a time that I was also called very expensive because
But they don't call you very expensive anymore.
the
Staples on the man, they send us rate card in US dollars.
But how sustainable is it opening, you know, as a producer, opening your, like, you're opening your profits.
Yeah.
So how sustainable is it in the long run, opening that up for everybody to be part of? Like, how many people can you, how many members
So
can you do that for?
So that for me is democratizing my risk. Do you get? Like, I have Casey that was onboarded as a talent and became executive producer. Also, I have Osas that was also onboarded as a talent that ended up becoming producer. These are not just only, so like for Three Cold Dishes was a pilot of a series. It's a project that is an IP project that has a long run. And from like Three Cold Dishes was like the test of who are the kind of, like from this outing, who are the kind of people that I would still want to ride this show on for a long time, and what can I use now that I have to expose it? What can I use to kind of lock them in, get them invested? Yes. That's why I said now I have to expose myself. Like, get them invested. Sorry, my nigga. You get them invested in the project on it for a long term. And they will not say that, oh, maybe you get commissioned now, you make big money. Like, get them to, I don't have to speak English, and I don't have to explain too much. We are now behind the scene together. Like, and I can still have, I can retain them for the bigger picture. I'll do that with talents on that scale. I might not be able to do it with every talent, but
You know, because I don't know.
so it's easy for like an actor. It's easy for like department heads.
Because I don't know what RMD did on the Black Book the first time. I don't know, apart from being an actor on the project.
He became an executive producer as
You know,
well.
so
at some
we
point.
have certain instances like that, but how many
On the cup, they became the like this.
Now it now became yes.
Was a point
Onboarded after the first the first Black Book.
by the DTF.
Yes.
It was very smart.
Yeah.
You know, so see the theater. People are the rated of film because so filmmakers are very smart. She says, I'd like say the person to the people that like this are stuff like criminal. Really criminal. He didn't tell you guys that he also got bought on board.
do you know what it means to release trailer of a film?
Yeah.
And you have him to
So how
introduce
many
it.
people 50,000. I'll be how many thousand?
Yeah, 8,000 live audience in Paris.
To watch it.
Mind that. So you see, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I remember, I think one of the first times I was at the Yakonde nomination. As off as that was the cell. Like it was like, am I gonna win this shit? Am I gonna win this shit? It was like,
Because I was young, man. Like, in the industry, it was my first ever feature film.
Don't worry. And he won. Was that right? So I'm now seeing him, right? If you look at him with his dreadlocks and stuff like that, you don't expect any sort of financial savvy or brilliance. You know, you expect him to be as he's like you.
You know, I would say that this guy is an Igbo guy.
No, he's so no.
From just cameraman. He's not hippie.
No, he wears glasses. He's suave. He's expected to be. But herself is not expected to be. Listen, but this guy is one of the smartest,
I know.
criminally minded people in this business.
I don't stop with him. I know. I start.
So, and we did that.
I'm really happy for what he did, with Casey, in the sense that you saw that, okay, he was given a little bit more than more Gribo, and then you opened that opportunity for him.
Yeah.
I think happy for him.
It's a trap.
He's like the best of because when we need money, and you go back to him to go back to him. We need money. Our film now.
Be careful what you wish for. But feedback can use her. Open the verse. Don't worry.
Because I've never did the post.
See, I realize we're in the trap.
So guys, thank you so much for being on the Command Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So our growth has been on different level. Yeah. I've never thought that I could be a podcaster or a host or anything.
That's not a regular podcast. We're at the mics.
So, but, it started from the point where I'll do a location and somebody does this good. We'll at the 7th hour. Yeah. And then I started doing tips. I called it government tips for or shave or shaggy, and somebody said, "Oh, you have 2 more."
Wow.
And then it started with me just facing the camera, and then you can 2 more, and then I started having it. And then somebody just said, "You did something with the AMVCA, you can have a life." Now it's a success. It's a success because I have people who are credible, who are talented, who are ambitious to take on projects that people will not. Like you. How many countries did you cross to Ecuador?
It's more than 6.
4. Yeah. And that I've been to some of the days that
I filmed in.
So I'm really happy that where this guy sharing Indomie in school in 2009. And we hear boys don't come everywhere.
Boys don't go.
And it was pepper and
No, it's not noodles and pepper.
So pepper the best place past the noodles. Oh my God.
Yeah, we buy 2 bags of water. We buy 2 bags of water when we want to eat.
So you go there water the
boys don't come. All you see is everybody.
And 3 points where my guy is put together, sir. I work with you several times. Chichos, you and you are. We're going through virtual stuff. I've been with this guy for, first time I met this guy, was supposed to fight. We said, "Oh, let's meet Chicho, please, and fight." And that's true. I was driving there. We go there and say, "And now you be this, and now you be this." Take 1 beer, take 1 beer.
I was on visa in Africa.
You get my
Hey,
I said,
God.
"Bro, I'm not gonna do power for you. Let's meet on the and fight."
True story. And we drove there and I parked. Yes! We got there. And now you was there. And take on me. So,
Oh, God.
Okay, thank you so much. And
Appreciate it.
like I used to say, government got you. And you need to understand that it's not just about your starting. It has to be, you have to be focused on where you're going. And if Casey decided to chicken out the first day, was fired. Don't be here with 4 nominations, 1 win and 1 aspiring win for what's it called again? How is it on the stitches? Okay, so yeah, you know, and you need to keep pushing, push your limits, you know. For you to know that you can push, it means that there's an elastic to pull you back. Even when you fail, you can start again. And if you're at the point where you don't know what to do, you're confused and you feel like, oh, I was fired first day at work, or I don't even know what to touch at work, just remember cases stood. I am not leaving this set. I came to the right. Yeah. I am sorry I messed up, but I'm not going to let it be my story. You can change the story.